What's going on, YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and I got another battle report for you today. It's round 2 of Memorial Mayhem. And guys, I apologize now. My voice is actually starting to crack right now. I believe I'm getting a little bit under the weather. So, I can feel it in my throat, unfortunately. Anyways, and you guys can pervert my sentence all you want. Anyways, this is round 2 of Memorial Mayhem. Round 1, we just got, my team got their ass kicked. I mean, we got our asses handed to us. And it was no fun, but it kind of gave us a good learning experience, especially since it gave me a good learning experience just because I'm doing the ETC this year for Team Mexico, and it allowed me to figure out like matches and whatever, you know, like basically who would I want to fight against, and how do we want to match up people and stuff like that, and how do we play the matches to our benefit. So round 2, we're playing against the Warhammer All-Stars. Now, Warhammer All-Stars were comparatively similar to points to us. We had 20 points coming into round 2. They had 24 points coming into round 2. So we're going to see how this goes. Now, they do have Fake Fox with them, and the whole story behind Fake Fox is the fact that I have a friend that I call Fox that looks exactly like Joe Finlayson. So he's like Fox, but he's not the Fox, so he's Fake Fox. Anyways, he's on this team with Jerry Parsley, and Jerry Parsley is the guy who ran. He's a U.S. Masters chairman. He basically was the reason why we had a U.S. Masters in the United States to begin with. And then I forgot who the other two guys' names were. Obi and I'm drawing a blank on the last one. Jerry. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. Anyways. So, going into this game, we know we got to play to our strengths. Now, granted, I really wanted to play Joel, because Joe was talking on or it was Gene who said it, but basically Gene was the one who said that, maybe it wasn't Gene, it was the other guy, Phil. I think Phil was the one who was saying that on the YouTube video, that, that Joe's list would destroy mine, and I'm really curious on to see how that would have played out, and that's why I really wanted that matchup. It didn't happen. The cards didn't match up, and this is basically the way it didn't go. So, the one thing that I really had to pay attention to, and this is the truth, is they had one person on their team who had a Scourge of Wrath, had a Demon List, Bloodthirster, So basically, my whole goal is, no matter how the matches go, I think I'll do good against the other 3 guys. I think Phil will do good against the other 3 guys. My goal is to make sure my brother gets a game against that Scourge. Just because my brother has double cannons and double rocker rocks, and he's going to basically mess up any big monster army. And that's a huge monster army. So that's basically how I played it, and that's how the matches got set up on this turn. So, excuse me. So, yeah, anyways, let's go over what we got going on in this game. Let's see what we have on both sides of the table. So first off, we're going to go over my army. Now, these are pictures from the last round, but I got my 30 Cave Goblins with bows and fanatics. I got another unit of common goblins, about 36 common goblins, bows, 3 Shady Gits, and the Shady Gits are all rat bastards in the front. I got the level 4 Pyromaniac in here. I got the BSB in here with the Skull Splitter and the Pants Protection. Over here I got King Koopa. King Koopa is on Peggy, but Peggy's missing her peg leg in this picture. She gets the peg leg back though, no worries. Over here I got my 30 Black Orcs, or I'm sorry, El Negro Orcs. Let's see, the Iron Boys, that's what I call them, with Warboss Juggertooth and his broken hammer. And then over here I got another unit of 30 Cave Goblins with bows and fanatics. Over here I got the Space Rock Coast to Coast. Now Space Rock is a Gargantula Spider. There's nothing special, no character, no web launcher, anything like that. And then the one character that I have missing right now is Crom. Crom is a idol of the Great Green Idol. So for my opponent here, Jerry, he has a dude on a Pegasus, not a Pegasus, excuse me. Ugh. I'm gonna butcher this already. I had his list like right up. Oh, here it goes. He has a Duke. He has the Ogre Sword, Armor, Percival, Virtue of Audacity, and a Barded Warhorse. He has over here. He has, let's see, pull it up. What am I looking at? Okay, so he has 2 units there. Okay, so he has another nobility, Paladin. He has the Dragon Scale Helm, Crown of Scorn, Barded Warhorse. He's the BSB. Then he has a couple Paladins that are on Pegs Knights, which I'll go over that in a minute. He has 7 Knights of the Realm with a Champion and a War Standard. He has another unit of 7 Knights of the Realm with a Champion and a regular Standard. And then he has, in the middle there, 5 Knights Aspirant. Over here he has these Peg Bastards. Let's see what the Peg Bastards are. 5 Peg Knights. That's it. Just standard. Okay. He has another unit of 3 Peg Knights, 2 Trebuchets, and then over here he has 5 Knights of the Grail with the Ether Icon. So he doesn't have any magic. He has the Ether Icon, a Crown of Scorn. He has another Peg Lord. You can see him in the background on this picture here. And that Peg Lord has... He's a Paladin. He has the Dragon Lance and Virtue of Might. Alright, so that guy's pretty nasty. Basically, we're playing the diagonal, so we go ahead and we line up. And honestly, I'm playing against a guy who has a full cavalry list. I'm not going to line up on the line. I'm actually going to let him go first. So he starts deploying. He's like, I'm a Kingdom of Equittaine player, so I'm just going to basically going to be a roll-off. But I decided to drop my whole army after a while because I got kind of impatient, and I was like, I'm gonna just drop my whole army and you can go first. I do that a lot lately, actually, because my whole goal is it doesn't matter if I go first or not. I'm gonna shoot you for, and I prefer it if people walk closer to me. That simple. So he goes ahead and he drops. I line up like this, as you can see. Now, he has 2 trebuchets, so I decided to start hiding my stuff behind the hill so he doesn't really have line of sight. And for the long distance, he has to go through a building and a hill, so he has really no line of sight from where he deployed his stuff at. And then I don't care if he really hits my main blocks because there's so many bodies to soak up the wounds. So we're going to go into turn 1, Kingdom of Equittaine. Kingdom of Equittaine, turn 1. As you can see, he starts moving up. Now, we're playing the flag scenario. He decides he's going to pick the 3 units that are easiest to get to. So the Cave Goblins, the Black Orcs, and my other Cave Goblins. So my comment... Or no. He picks my Goblin blocks. He picks all the 3 of the Goblin blocks. He leaves the Black Orcs alone. I line up like this. Now, this is one thing that I've been thinking about since I mentioned playing Kingdom of Equittaine, is I shouldn't line up in horde formation. I should play in smaller bricks against Kingdom of Equittaine, so basically I don't let them get those combo charges off and stuff like that. But in this situation, it didn't really matter too much, because you'll see why. And guys, if you can hear it, there's a Shy ambulance coming this way. Shy ambulance. I really am feeling under the weather right now. Anyways, alright, the ambulance passed. So he goes ahead and he goes this way. He starts moving the pegs around my flank, but I have my monsters and Koopa on the flank. He's really worried about Koopa because Koopa has the AP6 sword and he's only strength 4, so all he'll really have was wards him at 6 up. But what he's trying to do here, his plan is to weaken me up with trebuchets first, and then go in for the kill with the knights. So first trebuchet shoots, hits the Black Orcs, does 2 wounds. He missed on the first shot, he got it on the second, and the second he has to wound on 6s, so he only kills 2. Over here, the second trebuchet shoots, it misfires on turn 1, and it takes a wound, but can shoot like normal next turn, and that's about it. That was all his turn 1. It's going to go start off turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 1, Orcs and Goblins. So I go ahead and I start playing this dance. This dance had me dying. You could look at the corner. His Peg Knights are looking this way towards my flank. I move this Chicken Rock on his flank, out of line of sight. I leave Koopa in his line of sight because if he gets closer, Koopa will be able to charge. And it's like Koopa's extremely far away. So basically we're doing this dance. Who wants to give up whose position first, more or less. Magic Phase got 4 Power Knights, and you know what? I decided I go ahead and one of my mistakes is since he didn't move up was I had nothing in range. So I have to do the small level Ruby Ring. I get it off. I hit like 1 wound on a Peg Knight here, and I tried to do the regular Fireball, and I think he just stopped it. Over here, shooting phase, I'm going to go ahead and shoot these guys, and I think they don't do shit, actually. I don't even have a picture of anything that happened, so nothing really happened. I might have killed 1 Knight Aspirant, alright? But, it's going to go ahead and start off turn 2. And turn 2, he doesn't declare any charges, and he keeps playing this dance. He moves his Peg Knights on the flank of the Space Rock. So I'm just like, okay. In all honesty, I'm just thinking to myself, like, well, there's that's kind of like, how do I put this? I'm at least he's spending time to do this, and he's not going in for the kill right away. Because I think honestly, if he was to just bombard me with all his horses and stuff, I think eventually I would be overwhelmed. Even though the spider's stubborn 8 and or yeah, stubborn 6 and all, but granted, he didn't have line of sight of me. He doesn't want me to give up a flank or charge or anything like that. So he's gonna go ahead and go like this, and that was it. His trebuchets missed, and it's gonna go ahead and start off turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Now, at this moment right here, guys, at this moment, I'm thinking to myself, he's not pushing towards me. I'm not pushing towards him. Alright? I do rank up my Goblins on the hill because I realize his guys are getting closer on that side. And basically what I started thinking here is playing for a small win. I mean, my team, if Jesse does his job and if Phil does his job, we're going to get enough points to get a victory on this group. So, on this team. So the first thing I'd think of is I'm going to go ahead and just get a small win, like a 12, maybe a 13-point win by picking at that Knight Aspirant unit. If I could pick on that Knight Aspirant unit, kill all 5 of those guys, and then just preserve the rest of my points, I'll win the objective and I'll have a small win. Okay? That's my whole goal at this moment. This is what I was thinking at this time. I moved the Space Rock back in the forest, because if he wants to charge me, he's going to have to charge through the forest. I'll be stubborn. My General and my BSB are exactly 12 inches away from the Space Rock, and once I hit that stubborn, Koopa will countercharge. That's my goal right now. Magic Phase, I got 8 power dice. I go ahead and I do a ruby ring. I do a ruby ring. It's a small fireball. Alright? Throw it right into the trebuchet to do a couple wounds. He's like, I'll let it go because I don't want you to do the other one, the fireball or whatever, right? He lets it go. I roll a 6 on the hits. I roll 5 wounds and boom! Take out the trebuchet. You should have. I honestly heard about this roll all day for the next 2 days. He's like, how the hell did you wound it? 5 wounds on 1 spell. He's like, that's bullshit. And he was going around, he was telling everybody that basically this was the reason this game went this way. Because I killed one of the trebuchets. Oh man. Anyways, that was it from my magic. Shooting phase, I'm going to shoot these guys over here, and now they kill off one of the Knights Aspirant. And it's going to go ahead and start off his turn. Kingdom of Equittaine, turn 3. Kingdom of Equittaine, turn 3. He sees this, I don't. He charges into the flank of the Black Orcs. Now, granted, it's going to pin me there for a turn, but he really needs to take advantage of the counter charges now. He gets in. Of course, he gets in. That's okay. He's making sure he's out of line of sight of everybody else. He just kind of like is like this. And then again, he's still playing this dance. He doesn't charge the Space Rock. He moves the pegs around, and he didn't want to take the DTs in the forest, which I'm like, okay. And yeah, over here, close combat. He kills 5 of my guys. I kill 2 of his. He's gonna win. He has a charge, a flank, a banner, 5 wounds. So he's like an 8 combat res. I have a rank, a banner, and 2 wounds. So I stick because I'm stubborn. I go ahead and reform because I'm stubborn, and I get like this. And it's going to go ahead and start off turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 3, Orcs and Goblins. I move the Space Rock to the flank. I pass my march check, and I go all the way around like so. And I'm just like, dude, we can play this dance all day. And I'm like I said, if I play for a small win, I'll win. If I play for the 13 points, I'll win. I'm already up on the trebuchet. I'm about to kill the Knights Aspirant unit I want, and then I'm just going to bunker down. I'm not going to give up shit. Alright? So, Magic Phase, I got 7 power dice. Go ahead and I do a Scorching Salvo. It goes off. It puts a wound onto one of the pegs, and that's all it really does. I go ahead and I do a boosted Pyroclastic Flow. He stops it. And then, Close Combat. Close Combat, these guys just ripped apart the rest of the Knights Aspirant. And it's going to go ahead and start off turn 4, Kingdom of Equittaine. Turn 4, Kingdom of Equittaine. Now, granted, I forgot to mention this. On the shooting phase, I had to release my fanatics because those Knights of Aspirate were so close that I had to. So I just threw him out in the middle of the field, and he starts to have second doubts about like charging in and stuff like that. Not that they were really going to be in his way. Could have been in his way if he did a double charge, but that was it. I know this angle doesn't look like it will, but he would hit one with the double charge. And then these guys over here would constantly be in the same threat range, really. So he doesn't charge. He just kind of keeps it like that. He still plays this dance. He moves his Peg Knights right behind Space Rock, and this Trebuchet misfires. And again, there's no combats in the whole Kingdom of Equittaine turn. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Orcs and Goblins turn 4. Check this out. I move Crom out of danger. I put Crom up on the hill facing the Goblins. And I do this with foresight. I realize if he goes for the Orcs, Crom could get in. If he goes for the Goblins, Crom could get in. I move the other Goblins to start picking at those pegs that are hiding back there, and maybe throw out a Fanatic or two. And I move the Space Rock. The Space Rock fails her march check, so I just was able to just move right into that spot again. I'm close enough to the BSB, but I won't be close enough to Juggertooth because I forgot to move Juggertooth. So I'm going to get charged, but again, I'll be in the woods. He'll take DTs. These guys are moving around, swinging their balls around, and that's about it. Magic phase, I got 2 power dice. Son of a bitch. Go ahead and I do a Pyroclastic Flow, and he uses his Dispel Scroll that's on his BSB, his Crown of Scorn. So it's going to start off turn 5, and he finally commits. He finally does it. He goes for the charge. He's charging the Peg Knights over my Black Orcs into my cave, to my Common Goblins. He's charging these Peg Knights, and the guy with the Dragon Lance is in this unit, into my Space Rock. Alright? And he's charging these guys into my Cave Goblins. My Cave Goblins stand and shoot. They don't do shit, but he fails this charge. He gets in this charge, and he gets in this charge here. And then he starts to move his other guys up a turn. Alright? I think he loses a Peg Knight to the Forest for DTs. And oh, no, he's just moving the bodies around. Okay. So close combat. I go ahead and I use the Shady Gits, and the Shady Gits get a shit ton of hits, but not one lethal strike. He goes ahead and he starts attacking the Shady Gits back. He kills 2 Shady Gits, and he kills 2 guys. But I believe, even though he charged, he whiffed like a motherfucker. I'm not kidding. He whiffed a lot. So he has a charge and about 4 wounds. I still have 3 ranks and 3 banners. I win combat. He's like, what? I go, yeah, I have 3 ranks and 3 banners. He's like, this is bullshit. So he freaking rolls the dice. He sticks. Alright. Over here, close combat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, where do I begin? His guy with his Dragon Lance goes in. Swings away. Gets 2 hits that hit. He wounds both. He goes for the multi-wounds, and he only gets 3 wounds. Now the Dragon Lance and the Virtue, whatever he has, the Virtue of whatever, is going to give him more attacks for every wound he does. Well, guess what? So he gets 3 more attacks back because he got 3 wounds. He rolls those, and he whiffs on all 3 of them. He was just like, this is the most rubber lance ever. And he was like livid about the guy with the lance, right? And I'm like, well, I'm initiative 4, so I'm going actually faster than his next guys, right? So I just decide, you know what? The spider might die. She might. She probably will. I'm just going to go ahead and do every attack on the spider on that guy that's on the Pegasus. That one character. Because that character must be like 300 or 400 points, right? Well, let's look it up really quick while I have it here. 434 points. That character's worth a lot. And I'm not going to kill the other Pegasus. There's too many bodies. So I go ahead and I swing every swing at him. I get the multi-wounder off. The Venomous Jaw off. He goes to save it. I actually get like 3 poisons off too. He saves those. But the multi-wounded Venomous Jaw goes off and kills the bastard. It goes through. He fails the ward. He fails the armor. And I freaking do D3 wounds. And I get 3. And I kill him right off the bat. Holy shit. His other guys go put on another wound or 2 onto the Space Rock. Oh, no. They put on every wound. They do 7 wounds total. I have 1 wound remaining. I roll the dice. I roll like an 11. I'm like, shit, well, at least I'm close enough to the BSB. I roll the dice. Snake eyes, motherfucker. Holy shit. Not only that, but the goblins killed off one of the pegs anyways. And then we actually did the DTs after the fact, and I was like, it's alright, man. We already know what happens. I'm not going to make him re-roll all this shit, you know. But he ended up losing one of the guys because of the DTs. And Koopa staring into the flank, and he's just like, shit. It's going to go ahead and start off turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. Koopa! You fat bastard! You're going into the flank. Crom! Crom is going into the rear of those Peg Knights. Oh, this is going to get ugly really fast. And they both get in because it was like impossible to fail. I go ahead and I move the Black Orcs this way to make sure everybody got a front charge. And what I do is I actually swift reform the Cave Goblins on the hill, and I walk them behind the hill. So now he can't even charge them because they're out of line of sight. I was like, ooh, and basically that's, as you can see, I have a bunker going on over here. I'm not letting you in my bunker. Alright, Magic Phase, I got 8 power dice. I go ahead and I throw Cascading Fire on Koopa because I figure the spider's going to die. And then Close Combat. Close Combat impact hits, kills one of the Peg Knights. He goes ahead and swings and kills one of my Goblins because he just whiffs to my parry. And he puts a wound onto my BSB, which is awesome. He goes swings at my BSB. He's like, your BSB's over right there, and he only has 2 wounds. I'm like, yes. And he's like, alright. One second, I gotta text this client back. Yes, I got it. No problem. Alright. So he goes ahead and he's like, I'm gonna put all my attacks on your BSB. I'm like, well, okay, well, parry first. So he gets 2 hits off. He goes for the wounds. He gets 2 wounds off. And he's like, yes, 2 wounds. I was like, well, I got Pan's Protection of Pinchin. So I'm gonna go ahead and use your armor save and your ward save. And I made one of them. He only got 1 wound off on my BSB, and he's like, what the fuck? Now, Crom is going to give all my goblins plus 1 wound, and Crom is going to attack himself, and I believe I do enough wounds where to the point it's like, alright, dude, I got 3 ranks, 3 banners, a charge, a big rear, okay? That is already ridiculous. That is already like 10 combat res, not including the wounds. He's going to auto break. He's going to run. I chase with both. Crom catches him. The goblins get stuck behind my Black Orcs, and that's just a thing of beauty right there. And then this combat over here. Well, he goes ahead. The Pegasus actually hits, wings, and kills the Space Rock. Okay, well, Koopa goes ahead, and Koopa kills, like, one of the Peg Knights. The Peg Knights are not steadfast. We're in a forest, anyways, and they're flying, okay? But they're not steadfast. Koopa has a charge of flank and, like, maybe a wound or 2, alright? He only has 1 wound onto the Space Rock, so he loses combat. He's gonna run, and Koopa fucking mows them down. Koopa, you fat son of a bitch, you. You are a fat son of a bitch. Look at those 2 fat bastards. They're about to unite. Oh my god. And yeah, so turn 6, my opponent decides he's going to conserve points and move away from my guys, because there's no point of charging. I basically bunkered in the corner, and it's going to start off turn 6. And as you can see, I control a whole corner of the table where I'm just not going to move. And that's basically where it ended at. Holy crap. So my plan of a small victory, of a 12 to 13 point victory, ended up turning into a 17 point victory for the Orcs and Goblins. And that was just because all I had to do was hold down and commit. I didn't want to let anybody leave my leadership bubble. Everybody's still in my leadership bubble, and I think I played it smart. I think I had to. Now for the rest of my team, Jesse ended up tying Obi. I think he actually might have got a small win or a small loss. Phil lost big against Joe, and Joe was the guy I wanted to play. He's the one with the Alpha Bull, the Alpha Minotaur. He's the one I wanted to play just because his army's basically naked to a lot of my strength 3 shooting. I didn't want to fight a list that had a bunch of high armor. But Jerry was a little disheartened by seeing that I have strength 6, strength AP, strength 7 AP1, and strength 5 AP1 stuff. So that's why he was afraid of moving his buses into my Black Orcs and stuff like that. And then Koopa's just AP6 all around. It was a big win for me. My actual team lost a small loss, which isn't bad. And then Irby was playing right next to me. Irby actually got us 7 points, which was, I believe, his only game that he got us points, unfortunately. But that 7 points really helps out in the long run. So we're going to go over really quick who do I think MVPs were. So you're going to see the list coming up really quick. The Black Orcs only got 208 points. That was killing off a couple of Knights Aspirants. Crom got 280 points. King Koopa got 540 points, which Koopa honestly saved the round. But I think the real MVP here is the Space Rock. The Space Rock killed that freaking 400-point character, held a turn on Snake Eyes, and allowed Koopa to sweep in and get the rest of it. Space Rock took one for the team and even got more points in this round than anybody's gotten in the first 2 rounds combined. So Space Rock is getting MVP for the round. Cave Goblins didn't do really much anything. Bazooka and the Horde ended up with Crom killing off that unit, and then Baxter Pyromaniac did a couple wounds and took out a Trebuchet. Space Rock, coast to coast, taking first place MVP. Now let me do this really quick, and let me figure out numbers. Team A. Sorry, I'm doing this all late. So you're probably going to see it at the bottom of the screen, but I'm actually adding it up now. So the CGL Team A got 70 points. Devastating Charge, which is OB, once bitten, he's going to have, they got 46 plus 56. They got 102 points. So right now they're pretty much, should be like second place. We'll figure it out in a second. The Brave Companions, they swept. They played CGL Team 1, or A, and they got a total of 114 points. So right now they're in the lead. Brave Companions, they should be first place. I think they just stay in first place the whole tournament, to be honest. Let's see. The All-Stars just beat us. Barely, 43 points. And then they got 24 points the first round, so they got a total of 67 points. Us, ITP, we got 37 points in this round, and we got 20 in the last round. So we should be still in last at 57 points. If we're not last, somebody else is just right behind us. And then number 1 CGL team, they got 34 points this round, and last round they got 36. Looks like, yeah, so they're at 70 points. So yeah, it should look like first, second. There's the 2 CGL teams are tied for 3rd. All-Stars are in 5th, and then we're still in 6th place. But we are on a positive momentum. We actually got decent points in this round, and we're gonna go ahead and play Once Bitten's team next round, which Once Bitten's team is the favorites. They have Shannon Powell and Once Bitten. It's gonna be a hell of a round. Can't wait to get it to you guys, and I'm looking forward to making that battle report. Besides that, guys, though, I hope you're enjoying what I put out there. Actually, I'll show you guys. Dun, 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 dun. Here's a sneak peek. Boom! That's how we ended up picking out our lists for the next game. I got Capture the Flag with Zeke. It's my 3rd game playing Capture the Flag. He's playing a Dread Elf army, no magic. Phil Carl is playing Secure the Target against the Saurian Ancient player Lane. My brother is playing Hold the Ground against Chad Hogan. And Chad, I cannot wait to see this battle report. I was playing the game right next to them, and the ending is just so epic, guys. The ending is just so epic, which I'll explain in my next video. And then we got Irby playing against Shannon Powell. He's taking one for the team, because honestly, guys, anybody who played Shannon Powell was gonna lose. So it was best that Irby played him. Sorry, Irby. We had to throw you under the Shannon bus. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy this. If you do, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, share any feedback. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say, comment on this video. And also, I just threw out a Patreon giveaway for May, but I'm doing another one for the month of June, where I'm going to paint somebody's banner for the month of June. So if you sign up to my Patreon, every dollar counts. This is helping me get to Salamanca, Spain. So guys, if you guys sign up, I'm going to do a raffle at the end of the month. Whoever his name gets picked gets a banner painted by me. Alright, so anyways, guys, go ahead and to my Patreon. I'm going to put the link down below, and I can't wait to get you this next game. Hopefully my voice will come back by the time I get to this next game. So I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.